So we are in space. This is the autopilot. We have it under the namespace KSP flight globals to get the active vessel, and then we have flight control, and we get the instance of the flight control object, which we only want one of. And for this example, to explain the autopilot, I'm going to be using RedOnion script. So if we evaluate this file in the editor, we have two globals added, vessel and control. Vessel has the completion results you would expect. Control has a few different parts to its API, and what we're going to use first is we're going to call stop spin. We're going to spin our ship around and then stop spin. And that stops the spin. We can reset the control by clicking kill control button. And stop spin actually uses under the hood an implementation that sets the spin to a vector that has 0 for all its x, y, and z. Set spin. But we're going to try it with setting the spin to a particular value, a new vector that has a roll, no pitch, a roll, and no yaw. So this gives it a roll. One thing that's really cool about RedOnion script is that you don't have to have parentheses in many places where you normally would. So I didn't have to have parentheses to create the new vector. I can click kill control to stop this. The spin is already set, so it's going to, of course, keep that that spin. We can hit SAS if we want to stop. Or we could have called stop spin again. Another feature this has is, like SAS, you can override the values that the autopilot is trying to enforce. So if you want to stop the spin, you can override it by putting it in input, and then when you let go, it stops. Another feature that the autopilot has, well, the only other feature we're going to talk about today, is that you can have a target direction. And it uses the underlying coordinate system from KSP, so we're going to say vessel.transform.up, and up is the current direction. So we're going to set the target dir to the current direction we're headed at. That is evidently, and when we set this ship to go around by overriding the autopilot by entering input ourselves, it will always go back to what we had originally set. I can also set this to, with the underlying coordinates system is kind of weird, so, but one I do know is new vector 0, 1, 0, which is either north or south. I can't recall. So this is north, and -1 is south. We're eventually going to implement a heading feature, so it will be easier to figure out which direction you should be aiming your ship in, but this is what we currently have.